Hotepu Gatekeepers, welcome to this, our very first public presentation in all of our years of doing the Golden Beetle shamanic training of the outline of our initiation process online. What you're seeing here is a picture of the Giza Plateau, which is the African Holy Land. This is the original Holy Land. It is very ancient and set the pattern for all other so-called Holy Lands. And it is through the journeying through this landscape that the Golden Beetle initiates its gay shamans. First, let's make it clear that the structures, the geology, the geography, and the geometry of the buildings on this land, on this site, are most holy. Every single detail that you're looking at has spiritual meaning. Every single minutia of this image, of this site, was designed to throw the initiate who's walking along these areas or within these structures into a state of deep spiritual reflection on what they're walking through or looking at is a mirror of something within themselves, of a spiritual state or spiritual potential within themselves. And unlike other modern Kemetic Afrocentric movements, we at the Golden Beetle don't make up systems that we can't prove were Kemetic. So we base all of our training on what actually exists from Kemet. We don't make up new systems, new paradigms. We simply follow the crumbs left by these masters from ancient Kemet. So the entire Golden Beetle initiation, for all of those interested in it, is in front of you. The beginning, the middle, and the end of it is all in this scene. And I'd like to walk you through some of the details, the broad stroke details, of how we lead the student from where they are in life now, through initiation, through this tableau. So let's start here, where you see the water, the Nile, and you see that you can walk up upon this area, and there's a bridge to these structures. So here we have at number 5, if you can see that number 5 there, here's the Great Sphinx, and before him is what's called the Sphinx Temple. Now, the waters here symbolize travel. These are the waters of consciousness. So those of you who are looking to become an initiate of the Golden Beetle, to become a sorcerer shaman, you have to arrive here. You have to express your intent to take the program. So you have to sail your boat and dock on this plateau. So the waters symbolize that you have been on a search, a journey of consciousness, of higher consciousness. So those of you who send a request to join and their applications are filled out are those of you who have sailed from wherever you come from in life, and you have decided to land and to commit, meaning to ground yourself to this way. Okay? So we're leaving the waters of general consciousness onto specific development of consciousness of this land. So we're going to then accept the application, meaning your boat has docked, and we're going to take you first to this area, the Sphinx and what's called the Sphinx's Temple. Now, the Sphinx is where we start because he's the guardian of the entire plateau. He guards all of this. He is the defender of the mysteries held here. And the Sphinx is a lion-bodied, pharaonic-headed statue. This means that all of the pharaohs promised to be a lion guardian of the mystery schools of this plateau. So this is where the initiate, imagine yourself, you're here with the training, you're being brought from your boat to the Sphinx, and the Egyptian master is teaching you. Behold this great Sphinx, nothing but a reflection of you and of the laws of life. So when the initiate sits in front of the Sphinx and stares at it in his imagination and is being taught what it means, he's being told that the Sphinx represents the lion animal, which is your subconscious mind, what's called your kundalini, or your chi, or your ashe, or your life force. The animating force. A lion is an animal and it animates, gives you energy. It is your animal nature. So the Sphinx here is saying the subconscious mind here is the first thing you must make sit, because the Sphinx is in a resting position, meaning you must make your animal nature, your subconscious chi, your kundalini, restful, peaceful, meaning balanced. And you do this by following the pharaohs who are righteous. That the kingship, the African kingship of Kemet, is what will lead you to the secrets of how to calm down your animal impulses. That the kings of Kemet, the pharaohs, had to be men who mastered the calming of their animal mind. And what is the pharaoh staring at? Due east, the rising of the stars and planets. So how did the pharaoh calm down his own internal animal nature? By staring at the astrology movements of the stars and planets. So here we're saying the guardian of the taming of the animal subconscious forces within the people was attained by the pharaoh institutionalizing rituals based upon the movement of the stars, meaning shamanic astronomy. So too must you, initiate. Learn to tame your subconscious kundalini chi energies by observing the movements of the stars, meaning your charts. So in a nutshell, this symbol here of the Sphinx is saying the first step to an initiation is mastery of the animal mind through studying the royal science of sacred astrology. And once you do that, your animal impulses, your anger, your jealousy, your fears, all of these things will come to heal. So that's the first thing you learn. And we tell you exactly what parts of your subconscious are in the body of the Sphinx. The next thing we do is lead you into this temple here called the Sphinx's Temple. And inside of this temple are 10 columns, or 10 altars actually, 10 stands or altars, and 24 columns. So this is the chamber where the initiate now learns about the 10 and the 24. The 10 corresponds to several things. Number one, the 10-day week of Egypt, called the Deacon's Calendar. So here I initiate you into changing the calendars you live your life by. You begin to work with a 10-day calendar, which means each month has 30 days. All 12 months have exactly 30 days, not 29, 28, or 30, 31, but 30, made of 3 weeks each, and each week has 10 days, called a deacon, meaning 10. So the 10 altars in here correspond to these 10 days of the week. They also correspond to the 10 elements of your canopic jars. what's known in Taoism as the 10 elements, basically, where you have tree energy, fire energy, earth energy, metal energy, and water energy. That's 5, and they each have 2, which makes 10. So these are the 10 elements of your shahut, of your aura, that have been preserved by the Taoist system as the 10 elements. You see this in Feng Shui, the 10 elements. You see it in Qigong, the 10 elements. You see it in Taoist healing methods, the 10 elements. But that came from Kemet, and it came from this temple, because the pharaohs of the Sphinx learned about these 10 elements, which were based upon the 5 visible planets, and the extrapolation of the effect those 5 planets have on the meridians of the body, called the Sahu, or the Shahut in Egyptian. So here in this temple, I walk you through mentally, imaginally, in your imagination, through these 10 altars, and on the edge of these are 24 pillars that keep the building up. And those 24 pillars, of course, are the 24 hours of the day. So I teach you the secrets of how a day is broken down. And that is perhaps one of the most fascinating components of the Sphinx Temple. How the hours were seen. So, review. Landing your boat, saying, I want to take a solid, committed journey of consciousness. I first must learn that I have to tame my subconscious animal impulses through the royal study of the sacredness of my astrology. The astrology moves according to calendars based upon 10-day cycles and broken down into 24-hour deity segments, 24 forces that cycle along each day. Okay, then we walk you from this temple over here towards this causeway, and this here, number 7, is the Great Pyramid of Giza, the main focus of the Golden Beetle initiation. So at this causeway, you learn a few things along the path towards which is called the Het Neter, the house of the Creator. Many have called this the Merket. The word for pyramid is Merket, which is one of the words for it, but its real meaning is the Het Neter. Yes? You have the Het Neter, the Great Pyramid, or the pyramids. You have the Het Neteru, the house of the gods, which are the temples. And you have the Het Ka, the house of the dead, which are the tombs, the 3 great houses of Kemet. Here you're studying the house of the Creator himself. So as you walk along this pathway, I give you certain things to carry with you. You receive here a symbol of the god Bes. Bes was the dwarf god, protector of children, and here you receive your blessings from the god Bes, because Bes also means fire, heat, torch, or to initiate. So when you enter the path towards the understanding, the path towards the Creator within the gay community, you are starting as a child. Thus you get the protector of children, the dwarf god Bes. And along here you learn about the symbol planetary-wise of children, which is the moon in astrology. The moon represents children. So you learn the lunar calendar. We have a very advanced and powerful lunar calendar. So once you receive the blessings of Bes, you then are given the teachings of the lunar calendar, that you may walk with Khonsu the moon and learn how to use the moon cycles to bring fertility to your hopes and dreams each month. You also receive a book called The Book of Awakening God Within, which is a poetic rendition of the Book of the Dead that I wrote several years ago, which is also an oracle. You also here learn how to scribe the Book of the Dead, the actual Book of the Dead hieroglyphs. You have to get papyrus paper, Egyptian quill, and ink, and you have to start writing out the hieroglyphs that you may practice the language, practice getting your right brain turned on, because you need a high level right brain for gay initiations into Kemet. And you also have to start writing out the scriptures of Egypt, start writing out the legends of Egypt in glyphs to learn the tongue, the language. Yes? So you take those tools with you to this building here, which is kind of the foyer, one could say, of the Giza Plateau's Great Pyramid. This square building here with the opening. And in there you learn to astral project through the Gay Tarot. We teach you here the images of the most holy teachings of the Egyptian, the Kemetic, the original tarot. And it's in this chamber you learn how to astral project and to dream into each of the tarot cards in a way where they reveal their secrets to you. So this is where we train you. That's why it's open to the sky, that you may see the starry movements as you're dreaming at night. Okay, so that's what happens on your way to the awareness of the divine within yourself as a gay shaman. And then we enter the pyramid trainings themselves. What happens is, it's not shown here, but beneath the Great Pyramid number 7 are 3 chambers. One beneath the ground, subterranean, called the lower chamber. One in the middle of the pyramid at the 50th concourse, called the Queen's Chamber. And the uppermost one called the King's Chamber. And then you have the capstone, which you can barely see in kind of a whitish outline here, which is the Pharaoh himself. So we had inside the building, we had the lower chamber, the Queen's Chamber, the King's Chamber, but we call the lower chamber the Chamber of Beasts, the middle chamber the Chamber of the Gay Hero, and the upper chamber the Chamber of the Divine Ba, the Chamber of Eternal Light. Okay, when you walk into each of these, you first start in the lower chamber, where I teach you the secrets of the chakras, or called the arit, the gates or the halls within your being. And you learn in the Golden Beetle the secrets of your chakras, which are these magical, psychological, spiritual singularities within your subconscious mind of your Lion of the Sphinx. And it takes about 3 years to 4 years for you to really get the teachings of this chamber. Because down here, beneath the ground, is your low-life nature, your lower nature, all of your bad habits. So we purify the chakras down here that you may stop having bad habits and stop blocking your blessings. Then in the middle chamber, in the center of the pyramid, we have you start tuning into the star Sirius, because there is a star shaft from here that points this way, south, towards the sky, this way, south, towards the star Sirius. And it's in this chamber that you become a high priest. So the lower chamber down here is when you finish it, you are a priest to us. When you enter this middle chamber, you become a high priest. You are now in the training for being a high priest or high priest shaman. And here you will be trained in your personal astrology chart, how to really read your chart, find your defects, find your flaws of character, and go to battle, because this is the chamber of heroes, the battle between the good and evil within yourself. So down here, we're basically purifying you and preparing you for the battle. As a high priest, you go to war against your own negativity. And you do that through learning your chart very deeply, and you learn how to apply the chakras to create a shamanic, marketable business that helps the community. Whether you want to become someone that creates sacred theater for the gay community, sacred Egyptian theater, sacred Egyptian dances for the community. So you want to open up a gay shaman's Egyptian dance studio, get students, teach the sacred movements of the myths, the mystery plays. If you want to be a sacred writer for the Golden Beetles community, or you want to create oils and incenses of the gods, whatever is your interest and your talent, here you must turn that into a viable, profit-yielding industry that serves the community, both the Golden Beetle Gatekeepers community and, of course, the larger general public. Okay? Then, when you pass this chamber, which is several years long, you then get access to the upper chamber. What's called the King's Chamber, so-called. And here you're entering the realms of the royal priestcraft. And at this level, you learn to focus on the psychic powers of the chakras, where you're able to influence the environment, to manifest things, and to use the chakras more as a magician, as a sorcerer, for the good of the throne of the Golden Beetle. You also learn here the Rainbow Tree of Eternal Life, which is the secrets of immortality, the secrets of how to always be alive and aware even when the body falls away. Because you have to think about your eternal life. So you have to mummify yourself. Here I teach you the secrets of mummification, of spiritual mummification. And at the capstone, that I don't talk about. That's the province of my person, of the kingship itself. The secrets of the capstone are the secrets of the kingship itself, which are never made public. So, down here at the chamber of the Sphinx Temple, you learn something called the Fountain of Youth orbit, which some call the microcosmic orbit, which is a technique preserved by the Taoists of how to loop the energy within you, the life force within you, according to this wiring, looping system within your meridians. This is very important for your health, well-being, and the balancing of your elements. Recall this temple had the 10 elements. Wood burns, makes fire. Fire burns, makes the earth of ash. Inside of the earth grows metals. Metals shine and can be melted to flow like water, and water feeds the trees. That sequence of the 5 elements are mastered here in what's called the Fountain of Youth orbit to keep our gay men very young, very vibrant, and your top level beauty. So, that's basically a summary of the Golden Beetle initiation process that's coming up. And finally, a quick review. We consider people who are not landing here barbarians. That when you're still on the waters of consciousness, you're kind of floating in life, not knowing who you are, your destiny, your mission, your purpose. So that's to us barbaric, meaning you're not cultivated. Cultivation means culture. It means to make something that was wild refined. You have a wild garden and a cultivate a garden. So you go from barbarian, you land, you become what we would call a kamau, and you commit to initiation, and you learn about the subconscious mind being understood and controlled by the conscious awareness of your astrology charts through the Sphinx. You then learn how to break down the charts in terms of the calendars of sacred time, not Frankentime. The white man's time is what I call Frankentime. It's unnatural. It doesn't work with the seasons or the movement of the stars and the planets. It's just this kind of business oriented, clock in, clock out, left brain madness. Here you learn what we call tidal time, like a tide of water, the tides of things. You learn how the 24 hours break down into many levels of prophecy for you. You then walk over here to the path towards the house of the divine, the house of Neter, where you receive your best symbol of a young child of initiation. You learn the moon calendar. You learn to become a scribe and to write the Egyptian glyphs and the language. You then enter this chamber of the tarot, dream astral projections. You then enter the Great Pyramid, which has 4 sides of 3 angles each, meaning 12. So the pyramid is a giant zodiac sign of 12 signs, but written as 4, the 4 elements and their 3 modes. So you have earth, water, air, fire, cardinal, earth, fixed earth, immutable earth, cardinal air, fixed air, mutable air, and so forth. So this is a representation of the zodiac. You go into the lower chamber of beasts to purify yourself and to get ready for the battle that will occur in the upper chamber here, where you battle against your chart's negativities, your bad habits, directly. And during that, you make a business for the community, a spiritual, metaphysical business that helps the community and the brotherhood of the Golden Beetle. And then that's the high priest class. Then the royal priests up here learn how to mummify themselves for eternity. And then you have the capstone, which are secrets held only for the royal house. These each are classes. Each of these stations I mentioned, here, 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 you receive classes, you receive books, you receive teachings, you receive podcasts, you receive emails, all of these things you receive that give you the details of these broad stroke themes that I just outlined here. So, finally, you're looking at the entire Golden Beetle initiation system in one image. We keep it consistent to what they left us in Kemet, the proof of the crumbs they wanted us to follow. We, the Golden Beetle, simply follow the crumbs they left. So, the Golden Beetle system is open to all gay men. So, if you are interested, we start every year on June 21st, the summer solstice, which is the Great New Year, one of our Great New Years in our natural calendar. The summer solstice is the longest day of the year. There are 4 days that are the longest. June 21st, normally to 24th. So we always start our initiations when there's the most light. So the young beginning initiate has the most light or life force to help him fuel his journey up the pyramid of higher consciousness. Let us know. We're going to start very soon. Today is May 9th, 2014, so we're going to start in about a month and change. So do send a request if you're interested. Email us at the link below, www.rawgoldenbeetle.com, to our email page, and let us know you're interested. Or send a message to the YouTube page here that you're interested. We will send you the catalog, which contains all the prices, contains the breakdown of these classes as shown through these stations of the plateau, all the requirements, and it's a wonderful experience to take the journey of gay spirituality, having a meaning deeper then you may know about your life as a gay man with other gay men of like mind. It's very rare to have that kind of brotherhood. So, welcome. We look forward to hearing from you. Be well. Hotepu.